So, hello, future doctor. I hope you all are doing well. So, today we are going to talk about the skeletal system. See, guys, according to the NEET examination requirement, we will be focused more in human skeletal system. So, our today's lecture will be based on the skull of axial skeleton. Different lectures will be uploaded in this YouTube channel on vertebral column, ribs and sternum of axial skeleton, and a different lecture, or you can say a different lectural video I will upload in this channel on appendicular skeleton. The discussion will be brief and all topics will be covered in this discussion in this lecture. So, guys, what is the skeletal system? At first, we should know what is the skeletal system. Skeletal system is the system of external and internal hardened structure which form the supportive and protective framework of our body. It can be hardened, it can be flexible, it can be internal or external structure which will form the supportive and protective framework of body, such as the bones and cartilage constitute the skeleton. So, what is the function of skeletal system? Skeletal system, first of all, we know that skeletal system will provide the support and protective framework of the body, and then it helps in the movement and locomotion of different, or you can say various, body parts. Here a picture of human skeleton has been displayed for your comfort. The skeletal system has been divided into two broad parts. One is exoskeletal system and another is endoskeletal system. According to our syllabus, they have focused more on endoskeletal system, more precisely the endoskeletal system of human body. So let's talk in brief what is exoskeletal system. An exoskeleton is the external skeleton that supports and protects the animal body, in contrast to the endoskeleton. For example, you can see in the picture the shell in snails. Remember, guys, turtle both have endo and exoskeleton. Let's discuss a brief descriptions on endoskeletal system of human body. Endoskeletal system of human body consists of 206, it means 206 bones. Remember, guys, at the time of birth, human infants does have 300 bones, but in the adulthood the bones fuses, some of the bones fuses and form 206 bones. Endoskeletal system of human body is divided into two parts. One is axial skeleton, another is appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton comprises of 80 bones which distributed along the main axis of the body and form four structures, that are skull, vertebral column, ribs and sternum. So, we are going to discuss in details about the skull. So, leave this topic for now. Okay, so let's talk about vertebral column. Vertebral column, known as the backbone of our body. Okay, it lies in the mid-dorsal region of our neck and the trunk, and made up of 26, total number of 26 serially arranged units, and these are known as vertebrae. Okay, so the types of vertebrae what are found in adulthood are cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral and coccus. We are going to discuss on this in details in next video. Now coming to ribs. Ribs are flat, thin, bony structure that are dorsally connected with a vertebral column and ventrally with sternum. There are three types of ribs in human body, that is vertebrosternal, that is true ribs, verteb- vertebrochondral, that is false ribs, and another is vertebral, that is floating ribs. Now coming to the part that is sternum. Sternum is a flat bone present in you can say middle of our thorax or chest cavity. Okay, so guys, let's talk about appendicular skeleton, which consists 126 bones. In brief, don't worry, we will discuss on this topic, it means appendicular skeleton, on another video in details. Okay, so appendicular skeleton structure consists of limbs, that is limb bone. I hope it is clearly visible to you, and another is girdle bones. There are two types of girdle bones present. One is pelvic girdle and another is pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdles are scapula and clavicle. Four pectoral girdles are present, two scapula and two clavicle. Clavicle means the collarbone, and two pelvic girdles are present in the region of pelvis. Okay, so let's come to the limb bones. There are 120 limb bones present in human endoskeleton system. Okay, a total number of 30 bones present in each of the limb bones. It means limb bones is divided into two parts. One is forelimb and another is hind limb. And a total number of 30 bones present in each forelimbs and hind limbs. Two forelimbs mean hand and hind limb means legs. So human have two hands, two forelimbs, and in each 30 bones are present. Okay. There are six types of bones present in forelimb and seven types of bones present in hind limb. What are the six types of bones? Humerus, radius, ulna, carpals. Eight carpals are present. Metacarpals, five metacarpals are present. Phalanges, 14 phalanges are present. One humerus, one radius, one ulna, eight carpals, five metacarpals, and 14 phalanges present in forelimbs in each human hand. Okay. Now coming to the hind limbs, there are seven types of hind limbs present in human leg. Okay, so what these are? One femur, one patella, one tibia, one fibula, seven tarsal, five metatarsal, and 14 phalanges. Don't worry guys, maybe these terminologies names are new to you, but we are going to discuss in details in a next video. Let's talk about human skull. Human skull is the skeleton of human's head. It means the skeleton of our head is called the skull. It is situated on upper end of vertebral column, and human skull, just remember these things, human skull is called dicondylic. It has four major parts, that's are cranium, which consists 8 bone, facial, which consists 14 bones, are ossicles, which contains 6 bones, and hyoid bone. You can see this is hyoid bone. Okay, let's come to the picture. Now talk about cranium. Cranium is, this is cranium. Cranium, this is cranium. Okay, cranium is almost a rounded, almost rounded, hollow bony structure. Cranium, mainly cranium protects our brain. It is made up of 8 bones that are frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital, sphenoid, and ethmoid. Frontal is the anterior part of cranium. The greater portion, we call them parietal bone and temporal bone. which is the inferior lateral aspect, and occipital bone. Okay, guys, just remember foramen magnum. Foramen magnum. So, what is foramen magnum? I am going to discuss it a little bit later. Foramen magnum present in occipital bone. And next is sphenoid bone. This is sphenoid bone. Okay, just remember or note it down that sella turcica, which encloses pituitary gland, present in a saddle-shaped structure in sphenoid bone. Okay, in sphenoid bone, actually sella turcica is present, which encloses the pituitary gland. Okay, and now coming to the last cranium bone we are going to discuss, that is ethmoid bone. Okay, it's a sponge like appearance. Okay, small ethmoid bone is a sponge like appearance. Okay, so this is all about the cranium. Okay, now coming to the part that is, acha, let's talk about what is foramen magnum. Okay, let's talk about it. Foramen magnum, remember it, in the base of skull, a large opening. In the base of skull, a large opening, like in this portion, in this portion of the occipital bone, a large opening that is called foramen magnum is present, through this foramen magnum, somehow uh, here, in occipital bone, the foramen magnum is present, and through foramen magnum, brain maintain the communication with spinal cord. Okay, remember this point. This is very important point, that is foramen magnum. Okay, let's talk about the facial bones. Facial bones constitute the frontal part of the skull. It is constitute the skeleton of nose, the palate, okay, and the jaws. Okay, so there are 14 facial bones present in a human skull. These are nasal bone, which constitute the bridge of nose, maxilla, which is the upper jaw. This is maxilla, and this is nasal bone, which constitute the bridge of nose, and this is the maxilla, which constitute the upper jaw. Now coming to the part that is zygomatic. This is zygomatic bone. You can call it is the prominence of cheek. Prominence of cheek. Okay. Next is lacrimal. This is lacrimal bone, where lacrimal sac is present. Next is palatine. Okay. And next is inferior nasal colchi. Okay. Form part of inferior lateral wall of nasal cavity. Okay. Next is vomer, and the last is mandible. Guys, remember these things. Mandible is the lower jaw actually. ठीक है? Mandible is the lower jaw. Okay. And remember, this point is very important. Mandible is the largest and strongest facial bone. Now come to the part that is our ossicles. Our ossicles, it is present in the meter. Actually, meter has 3 bones. That is our ossicles. What is the function of our ossicles, guys? Our ossicles, actually, you know what? Our ossicles helps in amplification of the sound. Okay, so as we have talked, the middle R has 3 bones, that is 3 R ossicles, that is malleus, incus, and stapes. And the last skull bone is hyoid bone. Types of skull bone is hyoid bone. Okay, so hyoid bone is a U-shaped bone, and it is situated at the base. It is situated at the base of tongue and above the larynx. At the base of tongue and above the larynx. So guys, what is the function of our skull? This is a brief idea, and it covers all the topics that is being written on NCRT. Okay, and some additional information. Just focus on foramen magnum and sphenoid bone, the sella turcica and the pituitary gland. Where the sella turcica and the pituitary glands are present. Okay, that means the sella turcica, which encloses the pituitary gland, present in a saddle-shaped structure in sphenoid bone. Okay, this portion you should remember. Foramen magnum present in occipital bone of the cranium. Okay, and what is the function of foramen magnum? Again, I am telling you the function of foramen magnum is through the foramen magnum being maintain the communication with the spinal cord. Okay, so guys, what is the function of the skull? Let's talk in brief. The function of the skull is that skull protects our brain. It's the main function. More precisely, the cranium does the most of the work providing protection to the brain. Now we have just recently talked about the R ossicles. What R ossicles or R bone helps in the amplification of the sound, and jaws. Okay, that is the mandibles and maxilla. That is the jaws. Jaws help in cutting and mastication of the food, and somehow it provides the shape and structure of our face. That facial bones does most of the work. Okay, so this is what